What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back with another Four Corners video for today's 15-game MLB main slate, courtesy of Osmo.com. With every team in Major League Baseball available and the weather heating up across the country, there's going to be a lot of quality hitting today. So if you want to win a free month of Osmo Plus right now, like this video and comment your double dong pick down below. The guy you think is going to hit 2 home runs today. If you're correct, you'll be entered to win a free month of Osmo Plus. I will, in fact, reveal the winners of yesterday's contest a little bit later in the video. So right now, if you want to get your chance to win that free month of Osmo Plus, like the video and comment your double dong pick down below. But even with all this hitting around, we still have to hit on our first corner of the top pitchers on the slate, and Charlie Morton going against Baltimore to be the top option industry-wide. Morton gets 3.1 implied runs against him and is expected to be the number 1 owned pitcher on DraftKings with 31%, FanDuel with 19%, and on Yahoo with 31% as well. Morton has been a solid strikeout guy with 10.8 Ks per 9 and a 13.4% swing strike rate, while Baltimore brings an 85 WRC plus and a 236 batting average that makes him an appealing target despite a league average 22.9% K rate. Baltimore's mostly bad, while Morton's mostly good, so I could see why he'd be the top-owned option today. He does seem like a safe play, though I think you can question if he's going to have the strikeout upside to be the top pitcher on the slate, given that he is going to be owned like he has that potential. Jack Flaherty at Seattle should also find some ownership today with 4.2 implied runs against him. Flaherty will be the number 3 owned option on DraftKings at 26% and also on FanDuel with 13%. Flaherty's 9.9 Ks per 9 are strong versus the Seattle team with a 24.8% K rate versus right-hand pitching, but with JP Crawford, Domingo Santana, Dan Vogelbach, and Omar Narvaez all over a 121 WRC plus versus right-hand pitching, it's not a safe spot despite Flaherty's reasonable price. Flaherty's shown good strikeout upside and his price is solid, but I think if you want to get some leverage on the field on DraftKings in particular, Flaherty's going to be that highly owned. Seattle does seem like an appealing stack to target. Reynaldo Lopez versus Detroit should also be popular today with 4.5 implied runs against him. Lopez will be the number 2 owned option on DraftKings with 27% and will be less owned everywhere else where the value pricing isn't quite there as much. That cheap price for Lopez as well as a 26.3% K rate and 73 WRC plus versus right-hand pitching for Detroit are really appealing, but Lopez is a pure tournament play with his 8.1 Ks per 9 and 10.5 hits per 9, offering shots per production for an iffy Tigers lineup at a hitting-friendly park on a warm day. It's hard to imagine not having some Lopez exposure given how cheap he is and the strikeout upside that he presents, but he's definitely not a safe play, definitely not a guy to roster more than the field in my estimation. On to our next corner, the top stacks on the slate, and a Houston stack versus German Marquez should be popular with 6 implied runs for them. Reasonable pricing for Houston makes them the likely top-owned stack on DraftKings and Yahoo with over 11% aggregate ownership on both sites. Marquez has been lights out versus righties with a .99 whip, 2.7 xFIP, and 11.8 Ks per 9, so attacking his 1.4 whip and 9.9 hits per 9 allowed to lefties could be an ownership pivot to target with guys like Michael Brantley and Josh Reddick. It's hard and maybe crazy to advocate against Houston at cores, but I do think Marquez is a good enough pitcher here where I'd be more inclined to try to take mini stacks and differentiate my lineup from what's going to be a very highly owned Houston team on both DraftKings and Yahoo. A Colorado stack versus Jose Urquidy could also find some ownership today with 6.9 implied runs for them, which is a slate high. Colorado projects to be the top owned FanDuel stack with 12.4% aggregate ownership, and given that high total, they should also find some ownership on DraftKings and Yahoo as well. Urquidy has looked strong in the minors this year with 12.3 Ks per 9 and a .98 whip, but the positive hitting environment makes at least many stacks at the top of the order viable, with Charlie Blackmon, Nolan Arenado, and Daniel Murphy all under 19% K rates versus right-hand pitching. Urquidy's had good strikeout results in the minors, but he doesn't have overpowering stuff. I think the spot's okay to attack him with Colorado, even though I'm probably inclined to go under the field here because I do think Urquidy seems like a decent pitcher based on what I could tell from his minor league numbers. And the Texas stack versus Jose Suarez is back again with 5.8 implied runs for them. Yesterday's postponement offers even cheaper pricing for Texas versus Suarez, 55% fly ball rate and 6.7% home run rate. Texas has been awful versus left-hand pitching, and their projected lineup's 27.4% K rate and 70 WRC plus are brutal enough that it may be more logical to mini stack or one-off Joey Gallo and his 358 ISO versus left-hand pitching to try to capture the opportunity without the downside of an entire stack failing. It'll be a warm day in Arlington and that'll favor the hitters, but I do think Texas has looked bad enough versus left-hand pitching. Even with the value pricing, I'm not sure I'm going to match the field and where they're expected to be today. Now on to our next corner, the lower owned option on today's slate, and Matthew Boyd going against the White Sox interests me with 4.5 implied runs against him. Boyd's 11.4 Ks per 9 remain one of the best on the slate with his 4.1% home run rate and a positive power park, the main concern for rostering it. The White Sox projected lineup brings a 26.5% K rate versus left-hand pitching, with only a few worrisome hitters in Luis Garcia and Jose Abreu, both guys over a 123 WRC plus, while the rest of the lineup drags them down to an aggregate at 124 ISO and an 87 WRC+. The home runs allowed by Boyd are worrisome, but he could have a monster strikeout day that balances it out. I'm willing to go to Boyd today, especially if I don't see the strikeout upside there for Charlie Morton based upon Baltimore's projected lineup. A Dodger stack versus Taylor Clark is one I like a lot with 5.6 implied runs for them. There are mostly reasonable prices for the Dodgers, particularly given the brutal 1.7 whip and 7.7 xFIP that Clark has allowed to lefties so far this year. Clark can't get strikeouts at just 7.3 Ks per nine, and the 10.3 hits per nine he allows overall could mean quality stack reduction with power upside given Clark's 5.2% home run rate allowed. There's one Dodger in particular I like the most, but I think the stack is reasonably priced enough to get there, and Clark hasn't shown much, even if he may be due for some positive regression. A Boston stack versus Trent Thornton is also one that I like a lot with 5.2 implied runs for them. Boston's projected lineup has a 284 batting average and a 201 ISO versus right-hand pitching in a park that's been positive for hitters all around this year. Thornton isn't bad with 9.5 Ks per nine and a 1.45 whip, but with all the hitters in Boston's projected lineup besides Christian Vasquez over a 103 WRC plus versus right-hand pitching, looks like a solid stack to target if the ownership remains reasonable. Thornton has been decent, but he's not immune to blowups. This Boston lineup looks like a really strong one in a park that should offer them some power production. And Tyler Beede and Matt Strahm versus both San Francisco and San Diego respectively also interests me. In this game, you get two reasonably priced pitchers in a pitching-friendly park who project as decent values to open up money for the higher-priced bats you may want on the slate. Tyler Beede has 9.3 Ks per nine, and his weakness versus lefties may not be an issue versus a projected lineup for San Diego that's very righty-heavy, while Strahm is priced down versus the San Francisco team was a 70 WRC plus and a 122 ISO versus right-hand pitching, with his lefty struggles also helped out by another righty-heavy lineup. With some high-risk pitching on the slate, I think you can go to these guys in the hopes that maybe they don't get blown up today, given the fact the park's going to limit production, and these guys both have some real merits to them at reasonable prices. Now onto our last corner of the one-offs, and Jock Peterson going against Taylor Clark is one that I like the most. Peterson is reasonably priced with a 308 ISO and a 140 WRC plus versus right-hand pitching, while Clark can't strike out lefties with 6.1 Ks per nine while allowing a sky-high 7.7 xFIP. Obviously, I like that full Dodger stack of Peterson hitting leadoff at a reasonable price with some real upside. I think it's a strong play to go to today if you are going to go to a Dodgers one-off. JD Martinez versus Trent Thornton also interests me. Martinez is affordably priced with a 272 ISO and a 154 WRC plus versus a pitcher in Thornton who allows a 1.5 whip and a 44.4% fly ball rate to righties in a homer-friendly park. Again, this is another spot where I really do like the full stack, but if I had to choose one, I think Martinez offers a lot of upside with some guys likely to get on base in front of him and a nice power situation. And Michael Brantley versus Herman Marquez also interests me for the reasons I mentioned earlier in the video, with Marquez's splits favoring lefty hitters with 9.9 hits per nine and 8 Ks per nine compared to 7 hits per nine and 11.8 Ks per nine versus righties. Brantley's 135 WRC plus and very low 8.4% K rate versus right-hand pitching makes him an appealing option to find value at cores. I wouldn't say Brantley's the best hitter in the lineup, but I think this particular matchup, with him being less owned than some of the other guys who maybe are going to have a tougher time with Marquez's splits versus righties, I think Brantley's a decent guy to go to as a one-off to try to capture that cores production. So there are my thoughts on today's slate. So right now, apply that information or go with your own gut and like this video, comment your double dong pick down below for a chance to win that free month of Osmo Plus. Yesterday, despite the short slate, we had two guys hitting double dongs, Eugenio Suarez and Josh Bell, who went nuts with a triple dong, which unfortunately you don't get bonus points for. But here are the three guys who guessed it correctly. We got Bucky Nation 34, Kevin Lloyd, and Christopher Basta. Great job by you three guys. You are kings among men. You were the best at picking double dongs yesterday, so great work. Unfortunately, only one of you can win that Osmo Plus free month, and the winner is Chris Basta. The random Excel generator rewarded the guy who got the triple dong, so I'm happy with that. Good job by the Excel thing. So go ahead, Chris, email me at chris@osmo.com. That's CHRIS because I spelled it the correct way. So email me right now, chris@osmo.com, for your chance to collect that free month of an Osmo Plus membership. And if you want your chance to win that free month right now, like the video and comment your double dong pick, and you'll be entered to win this giveaway we'll be doing in tomorrow's Four Corners video. And if you don't want to wait for Josh Bell to strap you to his back and carry you to greatness, you can use that promo code SWITCH and HEDGE for half off your first month of Osmo Plus. Get all the ownership projections, the regular projections that you just plug right into Fantasy Cruncher, the deep dive column every day, the lineup builder tool, the top stacks tool, a million different things that'll help you make better MLB DFS lineups every day. So use that promo code SWITCH and HEDGE for half off your first month of Osmo Plus. And right now, go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I'm here for you guys every day, and many people on both those platforms are calling me the Josh Bell of both Twitter and Instagram, bringing a lot of isolated power, a lot of great upside every single day. So go check me out. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I'll be back tomorrow with another Four Corners video, so thank you guys for watching, and of course, good luck.